Star Trek Nemesis cast and character guide. Star Trek Nemesis brought together the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation for their fourth and final big-screen adventure. Directed by Stuart Baird and written by the Academy Award-nominated John Logan, Star Trek Nemesis premiered in December 2002. Unfortunately, Star Trek Nemesis ranks as the lowest-grossing Star Trek movie, and it was a bomb with critics and audiences that resulted in the end of the Star Trek: The Next Generation movie franchise. Star Trek Nemesis's plot involves Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, of the USS Enterprise E meeting his clone, Shinzen Tom Hardy, who took control of the Romulan Empire and plots to destroy the United Federation of Planets. LT Commander Data, Brent Spiner, also meets his malfunctioning android doppelganger, B4. Star Trek Nemesis includes cameos by Star Trek Voyager's Kate Mulgrew as Admiral Catherine Janeway, Whoopi Goldberg as Guinan, and Will Wheaton as Wesley Crusher. Details of the main cast of Star Trek Nemesis are below. Actor. Born in Murfield in the West Riding of Yorkshire, England, Patrick Stewart got his big break as a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company. Stewart moved to the United States when he was cast as Captain Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Stewart has also portrayed Professor Charles Xavier in Marvel's X-Men movies, Walter Blunt in Blunt Talk, and Bosley in Charlie's Angels 2019. Stewart reprised Admiral Jean-Luc Picard for 3 seasons of Star Trek: Picard. Character. Captain Picard faces a threat to the Federation in the form of his clone, Shinzen, the new Praetor of the Romulan Empire. Meanwhile, the USS Enterprise E faces a transition with Commander Riker leaving to become captain of the USS Titan. Picard is tested once more to unlock Shinzen's secrets and prevent him from using a powerful doomsday weapon to destroy the Enterprise and the Federation. Actor. Jonathan Frakes was born in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, and worked for Marvel as Captain America, making appearances in conventions. Frakes had roles in Falcon Crest and North and South before he was cast as Commander Will Riker in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Frakes has also become a celebrated director, helming the feature films Star Trek: First Contact, Thunderbirds, Clockstoppers, and countless TV series, including Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Picard, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Character. Commander Will Riker marries his Imzadi, Counselor Deanna Troi, and they begin their transition to leave the Starship Enterprise to start their new lives aboard the USS Titan. However, before Will can become Captain Riker, he has one final mission with Picard, and Riker must help Troi when she is targeted and psychically assaulted by Shinzen and his Reman right-hand man, the Viceroy. Actor. Brent Spiner was born in Houston, Texas, and became a stage actor before guest starring roles in Night Court and Cheers led him to be cast as the android LT. Commander Data on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Spiner also portrayed Dr. Okun in Independence Day and Independence Day: Resurgence. Brent also appeared in Threshold, Material Girls, and reprised his character in the Night Court reboot. Character. LT. Commander Data is earmarked to replace the departing Commander Riker as the new first officer of the USS Enterprise E, but the discovery of his heretofore unknown android brother, B4, leads Data into a trap laid by Shinzen. Data ultimately sacrifices himself to save the Enterprise from Shinzen's doomsday Theleron weapon. Star Trek Nemesis is the 10th installment in the Star Trek film series and the 4th and final film to feature the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Released in 2002, the movie continues the voyages of the USS Enterprise under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Directed by Stuart Baird and written by John Logan, Nemesis explores themes of identity, leadership, and sacrifice, with the stakes heightened by the presence of a dangerous new adversary, Shinzen, a clone of Captain Picard himself. The movie, though receiving mixed reviews, is a pivotal moment for TNG fans. Here's a look at the cast and their roles in Star Trek: Nemesis. Patrick Stewart as Captain Jean-Luc Picard. The legendary Patrick Stewart reprises his role as the wise, courageous, and philosophical Captain Jean-Luc Picard. As the central figure of Star Trek Nemesis, Picard faces one of his most personal challenges yet when he encounters Shinzen, a clone of himself who shares his DNA but took a vastly different path in life. Stewart's commanding presence and gravitas anchor the film, with Picard once again showing why he is one of Starfleet's most respected leaders. The film explores the duality of Picard's character through his interactions with Shinzen, pushing him to confront questions of nature versus nurture. Tom Hardy as Shinzen in one of his earliest roles. Tom Hardy plays Shinzen, the primary antagonist of Nemesis. Created as a clone of Picard by the Romulans, Shinzen's early life was one of suffering and hardship. After being abandoned by the Romulans and growing up in the brutal conditions of the Reman mines, he becomes a vengeful leader with his sights set on destroying the Federation and exacting his revenge on Picard. Hardy's portrayal of Shinzen is intense and layered, capturing the character's deep sense of betrayal and existential crisis. Shinzen is a dark mirror to Picard, embodying the idea of what Picard might have become under different circumstances. Brent Spiner as Data and B4. Brent Spiner once again plays the beloved android Lieutenant Commander Data, a fan favorite known for his quest to understand humanity. In Nemesis, Data's role is expanded to explore themes of identity and individuality as he confronts B4, an earlier and less advanced version of himself. B4, also portrayed by Spiner, is discovered during the Enterprise's mission and becomes central to Shinzen's plot. The duality of Data and B4 emphasizes the film's broader themes of nature versus nurture, as Data demonstrates how experiences and choices shape who we are. Jonathan Frakes as Commander William Riker. Jonathan Frakes returns as Commander William Riker, Picard's trusted first officer. At the beginning of the film, Riker is preparing to leave the Enterprise to take command of his own starship, the USS Titan, marking a major turning point for the character. Riker's dynamic with Picard continues to be a key part of the film, with Frakes delivering a strong performance as a capable leader ready to take on new responsibilities. He also plays a pivotal role in the battle scenes against Shinzen's forces, with his tactical prowess and loyalty to the crew shining through. Marina Sirtis as Counselor Deanna Troi. Marina Sirtis reprises her role as Counselor Deanna Troi, who provides emotional support and guidance to the crew. In Nemesis, Troi marries Riker, a significant moment for both characters that fans have been anticipating for years. However, Troi is also subjected to a harrowing psychic attack by Shinzen and his Reman Viceroy, which forces her to use her telepathic abilities in combat for the first time. Sirtis delivers a strong performance, balancing Troi's vulnerability with her inner strength as she helps the crew face their darkest hour. LeVar Burton as Geordi LaForge. LeVar Burton returns as the Enterprise's chief engineer, Geordi LaForge. A loyal friend to Data, Geordi's technical expertise proves essential in the Enterprise's battle with Shinzen. Burton's portrayal continues to highlight LaForge's ingenuity and calm under pressure, making him an invaluable member of the crew. Though Nemesis doesn't focus heavily on LaForge's personal story, his friendship with Data is once again a touching and pivotal aspect of the narrative. Michael Dorn as Worf. Michael Dorn reprises his role as the Klingon officer Worf, one of Star Trek's most enduring characters. By the time of Nemesis, Worf has returned to the Enterprise after serving as an ambassador to the Klingon Empire. As the ship's tactical officer, Worf is instrumental in the space battles that unfold, bringing his usual mix of fierce loyalty and warrior spirit. Dorn's portrayal of Worf brings humor and heart to the film, even as Worf grapples with the evolving dynamics of the crew. Gates McFadden as Dr. Beverly Crusher. Gates McFadden returns as Dr. Beverly Crusher, the Enterprise's chief medical officer. Though her role in Nemesis is somewhat limited, she remains a trusted confidant to Picard and a vital part of the senior staff. McFadden's portrayal of Crusher highlights her steady presence